Obeyed, obeyed. My sisters thinks it's funny calling me by my boy name. If I answer, they laugh. And if I don't, they raise their eyebrows and threaten to tell Madar. Cut it out, I bite back. My stomach is churning. I'm finally starting school. My sisters started a couple of weeks ago and I will have a lot of catching up to do since the school year started in the spring and we're starting in the fall. Now, I've watched them pack their bags, their notebooks and pencils and head out of the house while I've been getting used to being a girl boy. So I won't be so awkward about it when I join my classmates who are already thinking about winter break that starts in just a few weeks. This just means that everyone in my class will be staring at me even harder since I'm new to the school and starting even later than my sisters. As you wish, Obey John, Aaliyah says as if she's curtsying before a king. She's so dramatic. That's her thing. At the end of the main road, Neela stops and gives me a hug. She heads down a smaller road to the left to make her way to the girls' high school. It's much more narrow than the one in Kabul, but Neela is happy to be out of the house and with girls her age. I'm glad and not glad when we reach our school. It looks so different from our school in Kabul, doesn't it? Sometimes Aaliyah can read my mind. It looks so old. It's not that old, but it took a beating during the war. My teacher told me they fixed it up a whole lot since then. It was worse before, Mina says, shaking her head. My sisters adjusted their hair scarves, making sure the knots are perfectly centered under their chins. I liked our school in Kabul, I say. And I was supposed to move into the 3rd grade girls class there. Now we're here and I'm going into the boys class. I don't know if I'm going to know what to do. Isn't that a bit different from the school in the United States? They have a girls class and a boys class, and that sounds really different from what we know here. A classroom is a classroom wherever it is, which is why we should go in. The teachers here are just as strict as the teachers in Kabul about being on time. We'll meet here when they let us out. Don't be late, Mina warns. Her voice softens when she sees the look on my face. And obeyed, you'll be just fine, okay? I blink quickly so my tears won't get very far. We go into very different classes since boys and girls are separated. My sisters go to the left and I go to the right, where I find my classroom. There's a woman standing at the door. She's tall and thin and watches me closely as I try to slip in unnoticed. I keep my head down and hope she won't spy my big ears and the body hidden inside these pants. She stops me with a hand on my shoulder. It's your first day, isn't it? Yes, teacher. I stare at my feet. My face is hot. Your name? I take a deep breath. Obeyed? Obeyed, she repeats and tilts her head with a finger under my chin. You are obeyed? I nod slowly. Other boys file in while walking around me to get to their places on the carpets that are laid out on the ground. It feels like we stand there for about an hour, her staring at my face and me refusing to meet her eyes. Obeyed, she says once more. Yes. She lets out a breath so big her whole chest moves with it. She knows what I am. She points into the classroom. Find a place to sit. You've missed too much already. You have lots of catching up to do if you want to get a decent grade this year. There are 2 windows that look outside to the courtyard. I find a place in the 3rd row of students and sit next to the wall. I take out a notebook and pencil and keep my head down as if I'm about to write something. There are boys all around me, but I don't want to talk to them. I know they'll see right through me and be even worse than my sisters. The hours are long. We study math, religion, reading. My teacher, Seema John, makes us recite verses from our holy book, the Quran, which is the toughest subject for me. Reading is a little easier. Most of what we're doing is stuff I learned last year in my school in Kabul. I fidget a lot. The boy next to me notices. He leans in and whispers, "Stop moving around. You're going to get in trouble." Sitting still was never this hard. I love school in Kabul. In the summer, the classrooms were so hot I could barely breathe, but I never complained. We had smooth desks and real chairs. There were blackboards as big as our walls. I had friends who looked like me and a teacher who called me by my real name. And we knew that we were lucky to be able to go to school at all. Some kids have to work instead. I've seen kids collecting scrap metal from dumps and squiggling and squirming onto red-hot pieces of metal in a blacksmith shop. Some kids washes cars, shines shoes, or sells pens and sticks of gum. A lot of kids who aren't in school don't get to be kids at all. That made us really eager to go to class, even if our teachers were strict or assigned lots of hard homework. We are finally released into the school's playground, which is really nothing more than a big open space with one soccer ball in desperate need of air and a baseball bat that must have been a gift from the American soldier because we don't play baseball in Afghanistan. Boys play with boys and girls play with girls. That's always been fine by me. It's not so much that girls and boys want to do different things, but more that we do things in different ways. The girls run a bit on the playground, but without shoving one another or poking fun. The boys louder and run like they're not afraid of what they might crash into. Their arms swinging out and legs stretched forward, crossing as much ground as they can in each bound. I stare at the girls out the corner of my eye. I hear them chanting and hopping to the song about pomegranate seeds, the stones in the river, and taking bread to the baker. The words echo in my head as I fight back the urge to join them, my voice with theirs. My sisters are not in the yard. Their classes will be out a little later. I know Mina and Aaliyah will be part of the circle of girls, blending in perfectly. I watch the boys drift one way and the girls drift another. I am now in the weird place between both worlds. I pick up a stick and start walking, hoping not one notices the boy in blue corduroys, and one who is all alone. 3 boys are chasing one another. At the first boy flies past me, his sneakers kick up a puffs of dust. I take a quick step back so I won't be plowed over by the others. They're on their heels. Come, catch 'em! Without slowing their stride, they call out for me to join them. One boy pauses. He turns around and stares at me. My stomach drops. His face is mostly hidden by the rim of a navy blue American-style cap with wizards embroidered across the front in thread. He is looking at me hard. like I've taken something of his. Hey, you! Where are you going? I turn to walk in a different direction, but he is approaching. I pick up my pace and move closer to the school building. Stop, he says. I make a quick left and dart into the building, dashing into the hallway, ducking behind a column wide enough to hide me. I'm panting and my breaths are loud in the quiet of the empty school. I wait to hear the sound of the door opening, to hear the boy's footsteps in the hallway, and for him to find me. Today he doesn't, but tomorrow, a nervous girl's voice in my head warns me he will. That's chapter 5. All right, are you guys ready for chapter 6 or what? I am. I'm kind of interested to find out if that boy chasing her will become her friend.